Hello, I'm Tom Barron, Chairman of the Arkansas Judges and Lawyers Assistance Program. Since 2001, Arkansas JLAP has provided confidential mental health and substance abuse services to the state's judges, lawyers, and their family members. With the most recent addition of law students to our scope of services, Arkansas JLAP is committed to a new level of support for future practicing attorneys. As a committee of the Arkansas Supreme Court, it's our mission to provide individualized services to our clients and educate the bench and the bar with the most up-to-date information pertaining to the mental health and the law. We know the legal community has unique challenges not seen in other professional fields. As such, the Arkansas Supreme Court has created a safe and confidential system of support for the members of the Arkansas Bar who find themselves in need. I'm honored to serve as chairman of JLAP and to be part of a group of individuals dedicated to the well-being of our current and future practitioners of the law. Welcome to the Arkansas Judges and Lawyers Assistance Program.
Our clients are judges and lawyers who are licensed in the state of Arkansas, their family members, and law students who go to one of the state's two law schools in Fayetteville and Little Rock.
As lawyers, we deal with other people's misery on a daily basis. A lot of us do anyway. And I think over time, over the years, it tends to have an effect on us. It washes off.
There were certainly times when the stress of law school was difficult for me to handle, particularly around finals time. You know, you're talking, you've got 4 or 5 courses that your entire grade depends on one test.
And we carry not only their problems and their secrets, but our problems with us. You know, over time, that tends to depress one.
You're constantly dealing with deadlines and you're juggling different clients, and in my instance, I'm in a bigger law firm, so I'm also dealing with the partner's expectations. And so I think that it is key in our profession to have an organization like JLAP where you can, you know, where it's solely focused to judges and lawyers who are dealing with a certain type of stress that may not present itself in other professions.
Anyone who thinks they might have a problem, this is not unusual. Depression is not a character flaw. Substance abuse and addiction are not moral issues. 8 to 10% of the general population suffer from some form of either depression and/or substance abuse and addiction. In the legal field, we find that 18 to 20% of that population suffer from these problems.
I think that being able to talk to somebody, and sometimes it's even better when it's not, it's easier to talk to somebody that's not a friend or somebody who knows you really well. So I think that a program like JLAP would certainly help law students in that aspect.
I think for law students, they need to understand that they start out before law school with the same percentage of those students would have, the 8 to 10% of them would have some sort of depression and/or addictive behavior. At the end of school, 40% are going to be exhibiting symptoms of those. So I think it would be extremely important for law students to have that knowledge and to know that JLAP is there for them and to be able to reach out and get help so that their career doesn't get derailed before it gets started.
A law student who is impaired by alcohol or drug abuse, that affects not only the student, but it can affect the entire classroom and the law school. So the ripple effect of what can happen if a student does not avail himself or herself of JLAP can be very pronounced. Let's look at a judge on the bench who is impaired, whose staff does not know what to do with respect to the impairment. Now there is a resource for the staff to refer that judge or to do an intervention with that judge, with family members, to correct a situation that can really have a pronounced effect on that particular community.
Well, I think judges are in a very precarious position when these problems present because of their high profile, both within the general community and within the legal community. It's very hard for them because their judgment gets called into question. That's one of the benefits that I see as a clinician of being able to recommend that they call JLAP rather than come to, say, a private practice office where they may run into someone that they know. Because of JLAP's confidentiality, it offers them some protections and security that I think are much needed.
And take a lawyer, a practicing attorney. Not only the impact on the lawyer by virtue of alcohol or drug abuse, but on the lawyer's family and the clients. And justice in particular for that particular situation. If you didn't have a safe haven like JLAP, the situation could really get out of control. So the success of JLAP really for the law student, the judge, and the lawyer, it's just very profound, very pronounced, and something that we're very proud of on the Supreme Court.
And I think one misconception about JLAP is that it's only alcohol or drug abuse support. But as now being a member of the foundation, I understand that it's, you know, you can go for assistance with any kind of, if you're stressed or depressed or you're dealing with anxiety. And so I think that that aspect of JLAP would have been very helpful for law students, and is very helpful for law students, just to know that you've got that avenue.
There are other forms of dependency. We call them process addictions, and those would include gambling, eating disorders, sexual addictions, overwork, anything that causes an impact in functioning in our normal lives, where that process or that behavior continues in spite of negative consequences to that person's social life or to their health.
The warning signs of any ailment, whether it be physical or psychological or whatever it is, for the lawyer who is suffering, is when you quit having fun practicing law. And JLAP offers some techniques and solutions and tools and help.
There was a situation in the mid-90s where a judge committed suicide. And I think that got the attention of the members of the court. The fact that I don't think we knew at that time whether it was drug-related, alcohol-related, whether it was simply burnout, stress, depression, what it was. We didn't really know. But obviously there was something where he had severe problems. And we thought at the time, well, maybe if we had had a support group, something where this particular judge could have been referred or recommended to, that this might have saved a life.
If you're watching this and you live and work in a small town or a rural area in Arkansas, I want to talk to you for a minute. Because there are two of us who work in the city of Little Rock, it's been hard to reach out to those of you who are around the state. But because of generous donations to the Arkansas JLAP Foundation, we're able to contract with counselors in and around any area in the state of Arkansas, so that you can have our services, the same confidential, no-cost services that someone in Central Arkansas has. So we're able to bring the services to you where you live and work.